Chapter 17.
The sin of Judah is written with a pen of iron and with the point of a diamond. It is engraved on the tablet of their heart and on the horns of your altars. Even their children remember their altars and their Asherah poles by the green trees on the high hills. My mountain in the field. I will give your substance and all your treasures for a plunder, and your high places because of sin, throughout all your borders. You, even of yourself, will discontinue from your heritage that I gave you. I will cause you to serve your enemies in the land which you don't know, for you have kindled a fire in my anger, which will burn forever.
Yahweh says, "Cursed is the man who trusts in man, relies on strength of flesh, and whose heart departs from Yahweh. For he will be like a bush in the desert, and will not see when good comes, but will inhabit the parched places in the wilderness, an uninhabited salt land. Blessed is the man who trusts in Yahweh, and whose confidence is in Yahweh. For he will be as a tree planted by the waters, who spreads out its roots by the river, and will not fear when heat comes, but its leaf will be green, and will not be concerned in the year of drought. It won't cease from yielding fruit. The heart is deceitful above all things, and it is exceedingly corrupt. Who can know it?
I, Yahweh, search the mind. I try the heart, even to give every man according to his ways, according to the fruit of his doings.
As the partridge that sits on eggs which she has not laid, so is he who gets riches, and not by right. In the middle of his days they will leave him. At his end he will be a fool. A glorious throne, set on high from the beginning, is the place of our sanctuary. Yahweh, the hope of Israel. All who forsake you will be disappointed. Those who depart from me will be written in the earth, because they have forsaken Yahweh, the spring of living waters. Heal me, O Yahweh, and I will be healed. Save me, and I will be saved, for you are my praise. Behold, they tell me, where is Yahweh's word? Let it be fulfilled now. As for me, I have not hurried from being a shepherd after you. I haven't desired the woeful day. You know, that which came out of my lips was before your face. Don't be a terror to me. You are my refuge in the day of evil. Let them be disappointed who persecute me, but let not me be disappointed. Let them be dismayed, but don't let me be dismayed. Bring on them the day of evil, and destroy them with double destruction. Yahweh said this to me, "Go and stand in the gate of the children of the people, through which the kings of Judah come in, and by which they go out, and in all the gates of Jerusalem. Tell them, hear Yahweh's word, you kings of Judah, and all the inhabitants of Jerusalem that enter in by these gates. Yahweh says, be careful, and bear no burden on the Sabbath day, nor bring it in by the gates of Jerusalem. Don't carry a burden out of your houses on the Sabbath day. Don't do any work, but make the Sabbath day holy, as I commanded your fathers." But they didn't listen. They didn't turn their ear, but made their neck stiff, that they might not hear, and might not receive instruction. It will happen, if you diligently listen to me, says Yahweh, to bring in no burden through the gates of this city on the Sabbath day, but to make the Sabbath day holy, to do no work therein. Then there will enter in by the gates of this city kings and princes sitting on David's throne, riding in chariots and on horses, they and their princes, the men of Judah and the inhabitants of Jerusalem. And this city will remain forever. They will come from the cities of Judah and from the places around Jerusalem, from the land of Benjamin, from the lowland, from the hill country, and from the south, bringing burnt offerings, sacrifices, meal offerings, and frankincense, and bringing sacrifices of thanksgiving to Yahweh's house. But if you will not listen to me to make the Sabbath day holy, and not to bear a burden and enter in at the gates of Jerusalem on the Sabbath day, then I will kindle a fire in its gates, and it will devour the palaces of Jerusalem. It will not be quenched. Chapter 18. The word which came to Jeremiah from Yahweh, saying,
Arise, and go down to the potter's house, and there I will cause you to hear my words.
Then I went down to the potter's house, and behold, he was making something on the wheels. When the vessel that he made of the clay was marred in the hand of the potter, he made it again another vessel, as seemed good to the potter to make it. Then Yahweh's word came to me, saying, House of Israel, can't I do with you as this potter? Says Yahweh. Behold, as the clay in the potter's hand, so are you in my hand, house of Israel. At the instant I speak concerning a nation and concerning a kingdom, to pluck up and to break down and to destroy it. If that nation concerning which I have spoken turns from their evil, I will repent of the evil that I thought to do to them. At the instant I speak concerning a nation and concerning a kingdom, to build and to plant it. If they do that which is evil in my sight, that they not obey my voice, then I will repent of the good with which I said I would benefit them.
Now therefore, speak to the men of Judah and to the inhabitants of Jerusalem, saying, Yahweh says, Behold, I frame evil against you, and devise a plan against you. Everyone return from his evil way now, and amend your ways and your doings. But they say, It is in vain, for we will walk after our own plans, and we will each follow the stubbornness of his evil heart.
Therefore Yahweh says, Ask now among the nations, who has heard such things? The Virgin of Israel has done a very horrible thing. Will the snow of Lebanon fail from the rock of the field? Will the cold waters that flow down from afar be dried up? For my people have forgotten me. They have burned incense to false gods. They have been made to stumble in their ways, in the ancient paths, to walk in byways, in a way not built up, to make their land an astonishment and a perpetual hissing. Everyone who passes by it will be astonished and shake his head. I will scatter them as with an east wind before the enemy. I will show them the back and not the face in the day of their calamity. Then they said, Come, let's devise plans against Jeremiah, for the law won't perish from the priest, nor counsel from the wise, nor the word from the prophet. Come, and let's strike him with the tongue, and let's not give heed to any of his words. Give heed to me, Yahweh, and listen to the voice of those who contend with me. Should evil be recompensed for good? for they have dug a pit for my soul. Remember how I stood before you to speak good for them, to turn away your wrath from them. Therefore, deliver up their children to the famine, and give them over to the power of the sword. Let their wives become childless and widows. Let their men be killed, and their young men struck by the sword in battle. Let a cry be heard from their houses, when you bring a troop suddenly on them. For they have dug a pit to take me, and hidden snares for my feet. Yet, Yahweh, you know all their counsel against me to kill me. Don't forgive their iniquity. Don't blot out their sin from your sight. Let them be overthrown before you. Deal with them in the time of your anger. Chapter 19. Thus said Yahweh, Go and buy a potter's earthen container, and take some of the elders of the people, and of the elders of the priests, and go out to the valley of the son of Hinnom, which is by the entry of the gate Harseth, and proclaim there the words that I will tell you. Say, Hear Yahweh's word, kings of Judah, and inhabitants of Jerusalem. Yahweh of armies, the God of Israel, says, Behold, I will bring evil on this place, which whoever hears, his ears will tingle, because they have forsaken me, and have defiled this place, and have burned incense in it to other gods, that they didn't know, they and their fathers, and the kings of Judah, and have filled this place with the blood of innocents, and have built the high places of Baal, to burn their sons in the fire for burnt offerings to Baal, which I didn't command, nor speak, which didn't even enter into my mind. Therefore, behold, the days come, says Yahweh, that this place will no more be called Topheth, nor the valley of the son of Hinnom, but the valley of slaughter. I will make the counsel of Judah and Jerusalem void in this place. I will cause them to fall by the sword before their enemies, and by the hand of those who seek their life. I will give their dead bodies to be food for the birds of the sky and for the animals of the earth. I will make this city an astonishment and a hissing. Everyone who passes by it will be astonished and hiss because of all its plagues. I will cause them to eat the flesh of their sons and the flesh of their daughters. They will each eat the flesh of his friend in the siege and in the distress with which their enemies and those who seek their life will distress them. Then you shall break the container in the sight of the men who go with you, and shall tell them, Yahweh of armies says, Even so I will break this people and this city, as one breaks a potter's vessel, that can't be made whole again. They will bury in Topheth until there is no place to bury. Thus I will do to this place, says Yahweh, and to its inhabitants, even making this city as Topheth. The houses of Jerusalem and the houses of the kings of Judah, which are defiled, will be as the place of Topheth. Even all the houses on whose roofs they have burned incense to all the army of the sky, and have poured out drink offerings to other gods. Then Jeremiah came from Topheth, where Yahweh had sent him to prophesy. And he stood in the court of Yahweh's house, and said to all the people, Yahweh of armies, the God of Israel, says, Behold, I will bring on this city, and on all its towns, all the evil that I have pronounced against it, because they have made their necks stiff, that they may not hear my words. Chapter 20. Now Pashur, the son of Immer the priest, who was chief officer in Yahweh's house, heard Jeremiah prophesying these things. Then Pashur struck Jeremiah the prophet, and put him in the stocks that were in the upper gate of Benjamin. which was in Yahweh's house. On the next day, Pashur released Jeremiah out of the stocks. Then Jeremiah said to him, Yahweh has not called your name Pashur, but Megor-Missabib, for Yahweh says, Behold, I will make you a terror to yourself and to all your friends. They will fall by the sword of their enemies, and your eyes will see it. I will give all Judah into the hand of the king of Babylon, and he will carry them captive to Babylon, and will kill them with the sword. Moreover, I will give all the riches of this city, and all its gains, and all its precious things. Yes, I will give all the treasures of the kings of Judah into the hand of their enemies. They will make them captives, take them, and carry them to Babylon. You, Pashur, and all who dwell in your house will go into captivity. You will come to Babylon, and there you will die, and there you will be buried, you and all your friends, to whom you have prophesied falsely. Yahweh, you have persuaded me, and I was persuaded. You are stronger than I, and have prevailed. I have become a laughingstock all day. Everyone mocks me. For as often as I speak, I cry out. I cry, violence and destruction, because Yahweh's word has been made a reproach to me, and a derision all day. If I say, I will not make mention of him, or speak any more in his name, then there is in my heart, as it were, a burning fire shut up in my bones, and I am weary with holding it in, and I can't. For I have heard the defaming of many, terror on every side. Denounce, and we will denounce him, say all my familiar friends, those who watch for my fall. Perhaps he will be persuaded, and we will prevail against him, and we will take our revenge on him. But Yahweh is with me as an awesome mighty one. Therefore my persecutors will stumble, and they won't prevail. They will be utterly disappointed, because they have not dealt wisely, even with an everlasting dishonor, which will never be forgotten. But Yahweh of armies, who tests the righteous, who sees the heart and the mind, let me see your vengeance on them. For to you I have revealed my cause. Sing to Yahweh, praise Yahweh, for he has delivered the soul of the needy from the hand of evildoers. Cursed is the day in which I was born. Don't let the day in which my mother bore me be blessed. Cursed is the man who brought news to my father, saying, A boy is born to you, making him very glad. Let that man be as the cities which Yahweh overthrew and didn't repent. Let him hear a cry in the morning and shouting at noontime, because he didn't kill me from the womb. So my mother would have been my grave, and her womb always great. Why did I come out of the womb to see labor and sorrow, that my days should be consumed with shame? Chapter 21. The word which came to Jeremiah from Yahweh, when King Zedekiah sent to him Pashur, the son of Malchijah, and Zephaniah, the son of Maaseiah, the priest, saying, Please inquire of Yahweh for us, for Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, makes war against us. Perhaps Yahweh will deal with us according to all his wondrous works, that he may withdraw from us. Then Jeremiah said to them, Tell Zedekiah, Yahweh, the God of Israel, says, Behold, I will turn back the weapons of war that are in your hands, with which you fight against the king of Babylon, and against the Chaldeans who besiege you outside the walls. And I will gather them into the middle of this city. I myself will fight against you with an outstretched hand and with a strong arm, even in anger, in wrath, and in great indignation. I will strike the inhabitants of this city, both man and animal. They will die of a great pestilence. Afterward, says Yahweh, I will deliver Zedekiah, king of Judah, his servants, and the people, even those who are left in this city, from the pestilence, from the sword, and from the famine, into the hand of Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, and into the hand of their enemies, and into the hand of those who seek their life. He will strike them with the edge of the sword. He will not spare them, have pity, or have mercy. You shall say to this people, Yahweh says, Behold, I set before you the way of life and the way of death. He who remains in this city will die by the sword, by the famine, and by the pestilence. But he who goes out and passes over to the Chaldeans who besiege you, he will live, and he will escape with his life. For I have set my face on this city for evil, and not for good, says Yahweh. It will be given into the hand of the king of Babylon, and he will burn it with fire. Concerning the house of the king of Judah, hear Yahweh's word. House of David, Yahweh says, Execute justice in the morning, and deliver him who is robbed out of the hand of the oppressor, lest my wrath go out like fire, and burn so that no one can quench it, because of the evil of your doings. Behold, I am against you, O inhabitant of the valley and of the rock of the plain, says Yahweh. You that say, Who would come down against us? Or who would enter into our homes? I will punish you according to the fruit of your doings, says Yahweh. And I will kindle a fire in her forest, and it will devour all that is around her.